Trump wants to get rid of income tax.
Now we talking.
No, we not.
Why we not?
Nah.
Why not?
I did some research on this because, everything sounds good in theory. But yeah, what this guy says in this tweet, hold on, let's listen to it.
Because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay. Whether you get rid of it or just keep it around for fun or have it really low, much lower than it is now, but you won't be paying income tax. We've slashed $1 trillion in.
So here's an interesting thing about this. Ready? Everybody's going to go, oh, he's just taking care of his rich friends, blah, blah, blah. His rich friends don't make income. Mm-hmm. They make capital gains. Steve Jobs got paid $1 a year in income or whatever it was from Apple. All these guys are making their money on the stock market, or they have stock options for the companies they work for. They find these ways to get out of the income tax hustle because income tax at that point is 50%. Odell Beckham Jr., exactly what he was talking about. As an athlete, you make income. LeBron makes income, right? The owner of the Lakers makes capital gains, right? Because the Lakers is probably held in some entity, and then when they sell it, you're buying the entity that owns it, and then you only pay the capital gains, which is
or they keep taking loans against it.
Oh, this is the greatest hustle of all time. They take loans against their assets, and loans are tax-free, so you're not paying. So I understand the immediate reaction to this, which is, oh, the rich are just going to get richer. It's like, yeah, of course, there are tons of people that are making lots of money that will benefit this. But like the billionaire class, the Elons and them, they're not making yes, they're making some income, but the majority of their wealth is held up in this thing that is outside of the taxation system. So if you want to find a way to tax that shit, let's talk. I'm all about talking
tax
about
the rich?
That. It's not the rich.
Oh.
Tax the trillionaires, the billionaire. Like if you want to find
the wealthy,
the real money. But this kind of shit,
yeah, absolutely.
This right here is going to benefit.
No,
I thought the pushback to this was the fact that even if you get rid of income tax, all the additional money you have to spend because of his tariffs is the same as paying income tax.
I wrote some of this shit down last night.
That's what I heard.
But then it's your choice. It's like you could choose to not buy shit if you don't want.
No,
now, this might be horrible for the economy.
Food. Like it's like food prices.
Sure.
It would be terrible for the economy.
But you're already going to buy that anyway, and now you have income tax.
This is why it's important to read, kids.
Raising the price.
This is not going to happen. We can't. I don't think that our financial system would exist without income tax. I don't think it's possible. What I'm saying is the knee-jerk reaction that I think many people, myself included, first felt was, oh, this is just going to help the rich people. The rich people already aren't paying income tax. Yeah. They've found ways around it.
Wait a minute. First of all, rich person. Okay. No, you're not.
You and I are just regular.
We're not there. We just regular rich. When I first heard that, the first thing I thought was, shit, because it sounds good in theory, right? Imagine you didn't have to pay no income tax. Whoa. You know what I mean? How chunky those checks would look. But then it's like, nah. Like when you actually do a little bit of research on it, right? First of all, the government loses its main source of money.
That's what I'm saying. It's not possible.
Overnight. Yeah. And so they said they would have to rebuild around some type of new taxes. Like it would be a national sales tax, or the price of goods and shit would go up. It'd be like a wealth tax.
He's saying that the tariffs are going to.
Yeah. But the government loses 50% of its money. Right? So that's massive cuts to every major
100%.
Program, Medicaid, Medicare, federal education funding, infrastructure, housing programs, SNAP, veteran services, grants to states, so schools, police, roads. America would be a shithole country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
This is like his 50-year mortgage scheme. He's just throwing shit against the wall, hoping to distract from the shape that the economy's in. He knows the economy's the problem.
Right.
So he's just trying to come up with whether it's here's going to be, $1,000 to every citizen, or now with the Dells, they're going to give everybody $2,000 as charity, right?
$250 to 25 million kids.
These are schemes. These are hustles, man.
I don't understand that either. Why I got to go through the Treasury?
I like that one.
I don't
see
But why through the Treasury? Why did that money have to go through the Treasury?
It's like they're going to.
Shouldn't. That's the point. If they want to make it, because
they're going to open up.
He's not
going
to pay taxes now because he's giving away this massive tax-free charity gift. So it's saving him money. Now, granted, it'll go into the pockets of people, but they're routing it through the government. Right, it's also a.
But if you want to give the kids, why don't you just give to the kids?
This is the wrong one to be upset about.
Maybe the 50-year mortgage then.
Yeah, 50-year mortgage I think is a little bit better. It's like you save a couple $100 a month, but now you're going to be paying so much more over this time. And they're
going to raise interest rates because now they're exposed to more potential losses for another 20 years.
By the way, I'm not mad at the $6 billion. I just want to know why they're going through the Treasury. The Treasury is not a nonprofit. Like it's not. Like,
why would it?
Because
why would
the foundation?
I don't know.
Because they're going to give each kid a investment account.
The idea,
so it's like the person doesn't get the money. It's just an investment account. So it's really just taking money and investing it back into America.
No big deal. I said this on the All In podcast.
Yeah, you did.
It's fine, but
they took another idea from us?
It is no big deal. This is what we do. We're the brain child or brain trust.
You know the problem?
Talk to me.
We really don't remember none of this shit.
That is a problem.
I remember talking about it.
Yes. I think it's a good idea because the reason why I thought it was good is because it gets one of the big chasms in the economy right now is that there are people invested in the market seeing these massive gains over the last decade. And then the majority of the people, or at least 50% of the people in the country, are not invested at all. So they keep on hearing the Biden administration say the economy's great. And they're like, what do you mean it's fucking great? It's not great at all. I'm not invested in NVIDIA. I'm not invested in Palantir. I'm not invested in any of these companies.
I don't have no fucking stocks.
Exactly.
I hated when they did that shit.
So
this is the thing.
So these kids now get this invested at a very young age, and ideally, the money is invested in these companies, and these companies continue to grow. And by the time they're 18, hopefully, if America continues to thrive and succeed, now they're invested in the success of America, which we would want every kid in America to be invested in, ideally.
And it will start an account for a kid as soon as they're born, and so now that gets everybody more invested in stock market, or at least you're aware of it.
Now you have financial literacy because you rely on it. You're like, shit.
That's actually a good thing.
I got to see it to believe it.
Of course, we have to. I
still don't even know. Have we met any of these military people who got some of that money, that $130 million that was supposed to go for them?
I don't know.
During the government shutdown?
To support the Pentagon?
Yeah, we forgot about that. Donald Trump Donald Trump's organization is getting $150 million for one of those casinos in Queens?
I can't.
Oh, it's a fact. I'm not making this
up.
No,
I'm not denying that. I'm like conflicted about putting a casino in New York City.
Are you not conflicted about your president taking $150 million?
Well, get ready because we're about to get 3 of them.
Well, I think 3 are approved, but I don't know if any of them, I don't know if any of them are actually going to be erected. I think that there's land that was set aside.
No, 3 is coming.
You really think?
Yeah, I think
they approved it.
They got approved.
Yes, Trump could receive $115 million tied to Bally's $4 billion casino plan at the Ferry Point Golf Course in the Bronx.
Why?
I don't fucking know why.
Does he own the land or something? What is he?
I have no fucking
idea. I know
idea.
He has a golf course up there in the Bronx. I don't know.
Is that the one when you come off? What's the bridge? Is it the
White Stone?
Yeah, you see that with a lot of the little.
Maybe I don't know.
I could find more.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't like the way that sounds. But if he owned the land before he was president, and they're buying the land from him, then that just.
I really don't know. The projects included.
Shout out to Nas.
Yeah, Bally's paid the Trump organization $60 million. Okay, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
He's involved in everything.
Yeah, that's why salute. I really think a casino in Times Square would have been great, guys.
So we had this debate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like. There's obviously concerns with a casino. Okay, let's look at like the fun stuff, right? It's you're out, you're having dinner with your boys. You're like, do we want to go out? I don't know if I want to go to a nightclub. Fuck it, you want to go to the casino and just hit the tables for a little bit? Or you want to go to the casino and like, oh, maybe there's a little party there or whatever. Like, it's something to do that's open 24 hours. It's kind of interesting. There's something going on. It's interesting. Then the knocks, of course, are... And this is less for a city like New York because there's so many tourists. But when you have a city that people aren't going to a lot that has a casino, then it's like its own people are spending the money in the casino.
Right.
And then the idea is that like the casino is extracting the wealth of the people, which you don't want. When you want people coming to New York City and millions traveling all the time, and you want them already spending money in restaurants and dump a little bit more over there where people have jobs, they work, and then you're like, okay, that could potentially
Times
be good.
Square is a fucking tourist attraction.
But wouldn't they be dumping less in the local economy because they're going to, traditionally everybody loses at a casino ultimately.
So the idea is that like, if you really want to do it right, you would do it kind of how like the Nets Stadium did, or in like where you have like local businesses have representation there. So you have the Selka, the diner gets to have a place there. And that's what the Nets did. And that's what I would do if I'm like a local legislator. I'd be like, okay, you want a casino in fucking Times Square? You're not going to put McDonald's and all these other things in here. You're going to put our local businesses in there so they can thrive off it.
I used to see all the plans. Like they had them. Like it was, I thought it would be a good thing. And we act like this hasn't worked in different places. Like it clearly works in Vegas, right?
Do you have any knowledge why the Times Square one didn't go through?
Yeah, because the local, what was this? What's it called? The CAC, I think it's called. What is it? I don't remember what CAC stands for, but they voted it down. They voted it down 4-2. Do
you know why?
Broadway.
Oh.
Broadway wasn't really fucking with it like that. They had some people from Broadway, like, what's my guy name? Fuck the actor. His face is in my mind. Wendell Pierce.
Okay.
Wendell Pierce. I'm sorry, Wendell. Salute to Wendell. Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce was down for it, you know what I mean? Because he saw a lot of the things that, Rock Nation and SL Green wanted to do in regards to the casino and what they wanted to do for Broadway. But Broadway felt like it was going to bring too much traffic, crime, and they thought that it would be taking away from the essence of Broadway. I love Broadway, right? I go to a lot of Broadway plays, but the Broadway audience is aging out, and there's only but so many times you're gonna go to see a Broadway play, yo.
They should be very concerned.
I was in Atlanta earlier this week, and my greeter was telling me how she came to New York to come see Hamilton. But that's the type of people who are still coming to see those plays. Like, people come from out of town to see Hamilton and MJ the Musical and The Lion King and all of this stuff like that.
100%.
It's like, yo, I've seen probably everything on Broadway at least once. How many times do I need to see it?
Yeah.
You know what's so bad? Every new show that came out this year, they're all in the red. There's not a single successful new show on Broadway.
But it takes time to build a show. A Broadway show.
They said this is the first year that
really
all not a
usually
single successful.
Usually Broadway shows it would take a decade to make money at or something.
No,
Like that.
some of the
What
ones.
other investment is in Times Square?
Like,
there's no investment being made in Times Square. Times Square, New York City, should look like Abu Dhabi.
Disney made a big investment in Times Square.
Yeah.
Who
Disney has over the last 15 or 20 years.
As far as like what, Broadway and stuff like that?
Like Lion King.
Yeah,
but those are the only ones
the
that
little
people
stores
go
and shit.
You need something else, man. Like, the casino would have been perfect. You know what I mean? You got casinos in Detroit that work.
But
you got casinos in Maryland that work.
Detroit is like the example where I would be hesitant about.
Maryland.
The problem with Broadway, tickets are too expensive.
Yeah.
Like, the tickets just keep getting more and more
And then the only people that can afford it are people who are 60 years
older
old,
people,
they're
yeah.
retired. And
Well,
it's also, there's not a culture for young people to go watch shows on Broadway.
no.
I think if it was cheaper, they would go.
And I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And there's dope shit. You can go see Stranger Things on Broadway. Fire. You know what I'm saying? You can go see MJ the Musical on Broadway. Fire. Hamilton. Fire. Like, there's dope ass shit to go see on fucking Broadway. I like
Maybe Happy Endings.
stage plays.
Absolutely phenomenal. I'm not joking. That is the name of it. I'm not joking. Maybe Happy Endings is.
I ain't never seen that one nowhere.
If you Google right now. Darren Criss is starring in it right now.
Fucking Chris, Google that shit. It's gonna be a bunch of Asian parlors pop up.
Maybe.
On
No. It's maybe Happy Endings.
a bunch of Asian fucking massage parlors.
Yeah,
will
you
pop
gotta
up
be
on
very
Chris'
careful.
computer.
There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Maybe
right.
Happy Ending. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I never saw that one.
I'm going to see that.
and they are Asian too.
Well, he's not, which there was a big thing about it, but it's originally a Korean
I seen Wicked
Broadway
on Broadway.
musical.
Wicked, the movie sucks, bro.